paid to freestyle. Different city.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Rosen. The throw complete to Beebe. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
I'm coming after you.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Mike, let him know.
Now Rosen on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
You ain't got nothing.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Back to the ground, Cook. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jeff Swaim, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Now the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Check, check. Lucky. 11.
Off of play action. Luck. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Check out. 565. You don't want none.
From the gun, here's Locke. Looking for Campbell downfield. He's got a man, complete. A huge play that time for the Colts. 46 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Locke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3. Yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
3rd and long. It's Locke. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. Now they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Undercrunch.
Now a give running right. It's Cook. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light vest.
That's caught by Treadwell. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
At the 18-yard line.
Set, lady. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On first down, it's Rosen. Got a man. It's Gathers, the tight end. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check four.
They run, Cook, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
We gotta step it up.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Lets it fly for Thielen, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the bus. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Here's Love. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Hines. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Quit talking about it and bring 11 feet. Slap. Hey, high 7. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Back to throw. Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Daniil Hunter, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where did this one go out? Now they'll start with good field position, 45-yard line.
Watch the pass. Watch tight end.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Mike, you ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Shoot!
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
We got it. Here we go.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They get 3 yards closer but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. A toss to Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Block on 3rd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. And that one is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Packers. We'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Monday.
Play action. It's locked. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on. You better bring it. Mike. Hey, wahoo. 54.
Out of the gun, Love. Looking deep for Bolton. They got his man complete. One heck of a 3rd down conversion. 33 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Luck on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Switch. Check out. 40. Easy. Alert.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long.
Mexico. One set. Check Mike 54.
A shotgun snap for Love. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
To try again after the sack. Rosen, he gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. On 1st down, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 44-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And now it's Rosen looking into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. 23 yards, the final tally.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Rosen will throw. It's caught by Treadwell. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. He completes it to Treadwell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24.
Next to score, Vikings 24.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Lott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
58 for Mike. Hug.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Colts 42-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable. Yeah,
they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On the ground, it's Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
55. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 6 guys. Check 12.
Second and 5 now. Luck. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
From the gun on third down, Luck. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Taken in at the 22. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. On first down, it's Cook. It was Matthew Adams who got him down on the defensive side. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going to get it to BB here. It's a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
Three buzz.
On the carry, it's Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Colts, nothing.